Well, it's getting to be around coffee time this Sunday morning, July 19th, 2015, and we're looking north into Kenaston, Saskatchewan. Perched on the northern tip of a vast deposit of stagnant ice moraine. We'll go take a look at that church. One of three churches in Kenaston, not including the Jehovah's Witness Hall. Kenaston is laid out perpendicular to the railway tracks, like most prairie towns, which leaves us looking northeast up 4th Street here. Kenaston's nice new school, K-12. The east side of the school and the old main entrance, dedication plaque. And just south they're building the long distance education center, a professional place, good for Kenaston. The front of the school on 4th, look at southwest 4th Street, in the back of St. Andrews. Over on 3rd Street, Veterans Centennial Park, right in the heart of the village. And on the south side of 3rd, down at Central Avenue, fancy old false front there. Looking down toward the snowman that reminds everybody that Kenaston is the blizzard capital of Saskatchewan. Super. Well, there's some good advice and a reflection of the northern side of 3rd Street. This district was originally known as Bonington Springs, and on October the 1st, 1904, Tom Haygarth opened the Bonington Post Office, renamed Kenaston on January the 1st, 1906. On Central Avenue and 4th is Kenaston Place, the village offices, and also the home of a stage theater and an auditorium capable of seating 500 folks. Brand new. There's the 1910 Canadian Northern water tower, and behind it, the last elevator built in Kenaston by the United Grain Growers in 1973. And the village shops amalgamated with those of the RM McCraney, number 282. F.E. Kenaston is known mainly to history only by his initials. He was the president of the Minneapolis Threshing Machine Company, among other things. Looking southeast from Central Avenue, on the north side of 3rd Street, and the rear of the fancy false front, the northeast side of Central Avenue. All well and good, but what about the snowman, I hear you say? Well, standing 18.5 feet tall since November of 1983 at the end of 3rd Street on Front Avenue, cementing, as it were, Kenaston's claim to be the blizzard capital. I don't know why. The elevator was built in 1965 by Federal Grain, and it's been Rummer Farm since 2002. That elevator, at its core, is the 1916 Saskatchewan Cooperative Elevator, rebuilt by the Pool all in steel, likely in the 60s, the first one in Saskatchewan, and sold to Rupich Farms in 2001. Must be 10 o'clock. Looking northeastward up 3rd Street, Kenaston's Main Street. The first store built on the town site was in 1903, and there was a hotel by 1904, but I'm not sure that this is it. The rail line here is the famous Capel Long Lake in Saskatchewan, built by the Canadian Pacific under contract in 1890. In that year, the company built a combination station section house right here at mile 110.9 from Regina on the main line. is Kenaston rebranding itself? Heritage, Spirit, Vision. Maybe. Old F.E. Kenaston was the real deal down in Minneapolis. Not only the president of the threshing machine company, but a large shareholder in Jim Hill's Great Northern Railway, as well as the vice president of the Saskatchewan Valley Land Company. For about a decade after the railway was built, there was nothing here except a lonely section house and access to water. It looks like one of the original churches, right next door to the library. In 1902, Andrew Duncan Davidson incorporated the Saskatchewan Valley Land Company in Minneapolis and acquired 1 million acres of land from the railway and from the federal government in a tract extending from Chamberlain to Dundurn on either side of the railway, and proceeded to market it to farming families who had settled on perhaps marginal land in the northern United States and in Ontario. The end of 4th Street, the arena. Kenaston has a covered swimming pool. The land company did very well, and a trickle of settlers in 1902 turned into a torrent in 1903. And by 1920, 50,000 families had settled on the tract. Strangely, after building this line and running it for about 15 years, Canadian Pacific lost control of the lease in July of 1906. It was picked up by the Canadian Northern Railway, which became part of Canadian National in 1917, looking eastward towards busy Highway 11. Saskatoon is north, about 70 km, Regina 140 to the south. This is Highway 15 here, crossing the rail line. Outlook is off to the west, to the left, about 60 km. Very northern tip of stagnant ice moraine. Glaciers rotted here to the north and to the west is glacial lake bed. Very rich farming country. The first elevator built here was in 1906 by the Canadian Elevator Company, followed in 1909 by Central Grain. And Kenaston has 3 cemeteries. St. Andrew's Roman Catholic, down nearest the highway there. Eternal Life, a bold suggestion. By itself, but much larger than the others. In 1912, the State Elevator Company built, followed in 1916 by the Saskatchewan Co-op. 1924, Mutual Grain built, followed by the Federal Grain in 1965 and UGG in 1973. Kenaston, Saskatchewan.